Ready?
Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. We had a couple delays for this program. I'm glad everyone can make it tonight. Here's Angela to talk about Animal Reiki. Thanks a lot for joining us, Angela. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. My name is Angela La Scala, and I'm a Reiki practitioner, both for humans and animals. And tonight we're going to talk about Animal Reiki. But just to give you a little idea of what Reiki is before, in case anybody doesn't know, and then I'll explain to you a little bit about the differences about human Reiki and animal Reiki and who can benefit and how you can work with your animal to in this beautiful meditative healing space called Reiki. So Reiki is universal life force energy. It's just it's spiritual energy. It's in every living thing that there is. It's in breath. It's in life. It's life force energy. It is everything that we are. Everyone is born with life force energy, and everyone can raise that energy and call it in and make it more stronger and powerful. And that's what raises our vibrations and allows us to be in a state of health. So when we have when we're low vibration, that would be someone that's always angry, always worried, always sad, always bitter. And because of that, it lowers their vibration. And when that happens over long periods of time, it weighs on our health, and it makes us we're more prone to dis-ease, known as disease or illnesses, or all kind of mental illnesses, physical illnesses. So when we invite in the life force energy and we raise our vibrations, this is where healing and health can begin. And animals can benefit from this as well, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But there's a little bit of a difference between animal Reiki and human Reiki. So human Reiki, really quickly, it's always like a hands-on. You place your hands lightly on someone, on their head, their eyes, their face, their neck, the heart, the stomach, the hips, the knees, and the feet. And the heat from the practitioner's hands is what helps the healing process begin. It opens up the energy channels in that person that's receiving Reiki. But Reiki technically is, it's about setting an intention, and it's about focusing, meditation, and breath work. And that's what actually creates a healing space that the practitioner can help the client to actually come into a state of being present, a state of calm, a state of peace, so that they can allow their bodies to do what it's meant to do, and that's heal naturally. So that's a little bit about what exactly Reiki is. And animal Reiki is something a little bit different, because when we speak about our animals, a lot of times people think that, I'm going to place my hands on my animal and start doing Reiki on them and start healing them. And I did this too. And I never forget my dog Baxter. He was a rescue. And as soon as I started laying my hands on him and he was feeling the heat, he just got up and he ran away. He was like, he didn't like this. It was like kind of invasive for him. So I ended up meeting this teacher, Kathleen Prasad, and she had developed this technique called the Let Animals Lead technique. And about 2 summers ago, I studied with her at the Catskill Animal Sanctuary, which was a rescue farm. And this farm had rescue animals like pigs, sheep, lamb, cows, horses, and they were like, these animals were literally, rescued from slaughterhouses. And they came and they were, a lot of them looked mangled, and they were, hurt, they were injured, they were limping. Um, there were pigs there that were literally like just about to go to the slaughterhouses. And, these wonderful people rescued them and they bring them to the Catskill Animal Sanctuary. And on this sanctuary, they're healed. And they use a lot of Reiki on this in this sanctuary. And this is where Kathleen Prasad taught a class. And we learned to work with these rescue animals for 4 days. And it was a big surprise, because we thought, like, right away, we thought that we would be interacting with the animals and laying our hands on them as we do with humans. But she teaches what they call the let animals lead technique. And this is different, because so animals are very like, humans don't mind getting touched and having our hands laid upon them, but animals are very, like, they're private about their space, especially wild or feral animals. They're very, they want their space to be respected. So unless they're your personal pet, they don't really want your hands laid on them. So what she did is she taught this technique where you meditate and you invite in your animal to come into the space that you're meditating in, and you let them lead the meditation. Basically, you let them lead the healing space. So for instance, like when I started doing Reiki, and I would meditate, and I would do the 5 precepts, which I'll teach you in a moment in case you don't know about those. And I would focus on the 5 precepts, which I'll tell you what they are now. They are the 5 precepts of Reiki to help you meditate and focus. Is these words: it's let go of anger, let go of worry, be grateful, do your work diligently, and be compassionate to all, including yourself. And you would repeat these words, like let go of anger, to just for today, I let go of anger. Just for today, I let go of worry. And you keep repeating the 5 precepts to help you focus and get you into a state of calm and peace. And as you do it, you could sit with your hands on your lap, with your hands, palms face up, and you sit like on your couch or a chair or on the floor. And at that moment, you invite your animal in to join you. Now, when I first did it, I would like literally take my dog and I'd place him on my lap, and I'd be like hands on him, and he would be squirming and he'd be uncomfortable, and he would be just like, get me out of here. So the let animals lead is that you yourself start meditating first, and inviting in that calm and focus on the 5 precepts. You keep saying, let go of anger, let go of worry, be grateful. And as you're doing it, you're calming down and you're creating this healing, calming space. And then you'll notice that all of a sudden your animal will come and start slowly walking over, and then they'll take a seat, a few feet away from you. And then, a few minutes later, they might get a little bit closer to you. And then before you know it, after either a few sessions or by the end of your first session, they'll be on your lap and they'll feel comfortable, and they'll feel that healing space. So why do animals need something like this? Why do animals need Reiki in their lives, right? So first, they benefit animals with anxiety, animals with like separation anxiety. They benefit animals that are going into hospice, or they're on their dying stages, where they've been diagnosed that they're sick and they're not going to make it. So then this is a good time for Reiki. When they're recovering from surgery is another good time for Reiki. And it's also just a good time, just as a way to connect with a new pet. if you've rescued or adopted a new pet, or you brought home a pet puppy, it's also a great way to start, doing Reiki with a new animal family member. So those are some of the reasons why you would want to do Reiki with your animal. And the other question is, so who would do this? Who would this benefit? So Animal Reiki benefits both the animal and it benefits the animal parent. So, and I'll explain that in a couple of minutes. But also, Animal Reiki is also like veterinarians and veterinarian assistants are all looking to use this. A lot of the shelters have Reiki practitioners come in and they literally sit outside of the where they're fenced in, and they sit outside and they literally meditate. If you ever go to up in Elmsford, sometimes you'll see somebody sitting outside one of the crates and they're like just meditating in silence. They're still, right? And then you'll notice that the animal starts, calming down, and there's like less noise, and they start quieting down, and it's an amazing thing to watch and see and feel, is because all of a sudden, like, the room will begin to get a little quiet. And that's when they get into this calming space, and then they build a trust, right? That's how you build trust, when you make that bridge between human and animal. So the thing about animals is that they accept the life cycles way better than we do. So whatever they're presented with, when they get sick, when they are diagnosed with a terminal illness, when they are hurt, when they are abused, when they are neglected, it's like they don't hold anger for it. They don't worry about where their next home is going to be. They don't hold grudges. They don't hold resentment like humans do. So their vibrations are always very high because they just accept what is. They accept the present state as is. So in order for humans to communicate with animals, we need to raise our vibrations up to where they are, because they're very high vibrations. They're very sensitive. They're very in tune to our feelings and the way we, act and feel, and the way we have emotions. So, for instance, when you have an elderly animal and they're not feeling so good, we tend to worry about them constantly. We tend to get upset and like a little bit angry because they might have gotten a diagnosis that we didn't want them to have, or we get extremely worried. We get fearful, and they pick up on that. So they pick up on all that because they're so sensitive, and that's not creating a healing space for them. So the thing is about Animal Reiki, it's actually benefits both the parent, the human parent, and the animal. So, and we do this with the Let Animals Lead. We do this through a meditation. So we'll at the end, we'll do a little meditation so you could get to see what it's like to have a meditation with your animal. And if you do it every day, or twice a day, even just for a few minutes, you'll notice that your animal begins to trust you. They begin to calm down. They begin to settle. They begin to, sometimes they have more energy afterwards, because what you're doing is you're meeting them. You're meeting them halfway. So it's not that we want to heal them, or we want to, like, we can't go and just heal them, because they accept their life cycle. So we want to, like, humans want to be healed, right? Because it's hard for us to accept when we're sick. But they honor every stage of their life cycle, even if it's illness, even if it's dying, even if it's fear, even if it's because they were abandoned. They honor everything in the present moment. And what we do with Animal Reiki is we meditate and we raise our vibrations to meet their vibration. And that's how we create a healing environment for them. So that's basically what Animal Reiki is. And so what we could do is, I'd like to recommend this book here, Let Animals Lead. And it has a bunch of, it's a 21-day meditation challenge that you can do with your animals, with your pets. And it's really beautiful. It's like, it has an affirmation for each day, and what you can, do to help connect with your animal and heal with them. And remember too, that when you do Animal Reiki in the meditation, it's also a healing for us, because we have such a hard time accepting, the challenges that our pets go through, and their aging process and their illnesses. We have such a hard time accepting that. But remember, they accept it. They're teachers to us. We can learn so much from an animal, and they teach us in such wondrous ways. And the whole premise of Animal Reiki is meeting them halfway and learning how to create this healing space with them, so that they can calm down and they could feel at peace, and understand that where the point that they're in their life, that it's okay that they are at their end stage. It's okay that they're ill. It's okay that they were injured. It's okay that they had surgery. And this is where the healing begins. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do I'll walk you through a little guided meditation that you can do with your animal if you have one around. And don't feel pressured to place them on your lap. And you could just sit back and relax. You could dim the lights. You know what? And we're going to start by doing a little self-Reiki, because this is where we are going to calm ourselves down and bring ourselves into a state of peace and calm, so that our animals feel welcome to come into our space. And I just want you to sit back as you go through the meditation with me. I just want you to notice what your animal is doing. Do they run off? Do they come closer? Do they snuggle up? And see, just recognize what's going on, but don't feel as though that you have to heal them. Just invite them into the space. So we're going to start out by putting our hands in Gasho position. And just take a few deep breaths. Breathe in and release. Take another breath in and slowly release your breath. And I want you to start beginning to feel a sense of peace and calm. And now you can just take your hands and place them either palms up, because that's like inviting in your animal, and just ask them to come near you, but don't pick them up and bring them near you. Just ask them to come near you, and just ask them once. Let them lead. And we're going to do what we call hara breathing, which is we breathe in through the nose, and we expand our bellies and bring the breath all the way down to the lower belly. It's either called hara breathing or it's called belly breathing. And what belly breathing does, it lowers our blood pressure, it lowers our stress, it calms us, brings our blood pressure down. And just take a few deep breaths. And if you like, just recite the 5 Reiki precepts, because this helps us focus and, empties our mind of any worries. So let go of anger just for today. Let go of anger. Take a deep breath and release. Just for today, let go of worry and release. Just for today, be grateful. And breathe in the gratitude. Breathe in the vibration of gratitude. Just be grateful for your animal support, your animal family. Just breathe in that grateful vibration. Just for today, I will do my work diligently. Just breathe that vibration in. And just for today, I will be compassionate. And breathe in the vibration of compassion. And let go of anything other than compassion. Let go of anger, let go of worries, let go of being upset or disappointed, and just feel the vibration of compassion. And continue to breathe. Now you could visualize a bridge between you and your animal, and ask them to meet you halfway. So with every breath you take, just imagine this beautiful, warm, white light coming down from the crown chakra, and breathe it all the way into your belly. And now on the exhale, allow the breath and the light to expand outward. Just feel it expand outward into your little space. And just breathe deep breaths. And on the exhale, allow it to just encircle you and maybe spread out a little bit further than your personal space. And notice where your animal is in your mind. Is he or she beginning to approach you? Is she noticing you? And with every exhale, feel your vibration of compassion and gratitude. Feel it expand. Feel it expanding out into your room and filling up your room with love, light, peace, and calm. Notice your heartbeat. Has it slowed down? Has it regulated? Feel your feet planted on the floor, firmly on the floor, knowing that you're here, you're present. Your animal is close by. If they are sitting on your lap, notice their breath and connect heart to heart. Just feel the connection between the vibration of your heart and the vibration of their heart. And breathe. Breathe in light, love, peace, and calm. And exhale, love, light, peace, and calm. And just allow it to fill your space in your room. Allow the vibration to expand and connect with your animal. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about yesterday. Just focus on the here and now in this beautiful space that you are connecting with your animal. And just breathe. Now, if your animal is sitting on your lap, you could gently, very gently, just place a hand somewhere that you know that your animal will accept your touch. On the back, maybe hold the paw, and just continue to breathe. And see the light from your heart connect to the light of their heart. And just see it like a bridge and see the connection. And continue to breathe and connecting to that vibration of love, light, peace, and calm. Letting go of anger, letting go of worries, being grateful for the space that you're sharing with your animal, knowing that you're doing your work diligently, and fill your spirit with compassion and feel the compassion connect with your pet. Okay, take another couple of deep breaths, and then we're going to begin to start moving our toes and our fingers. You can rub your hands together and place them on your heart. You can place one hand on your heart and place the other hand very gently on your animal. Take another couple of deep breaths. And place your hands back on your lap, and you could start waking up and opening your eyes. And notice how you feel, and notice what your animal is doing. So some of your animals may have left the room already because it takes a lot of getting used to for them to get used to because they're not used to that sense, that vibration that you're creating, that healing vibration. They're not used to that because they're so probably used to you in that state of worry and that state of anger and confusion and depression and sadness. So they're not really used to that high vibration that you've just created and connected with them. So, and some of them may have really welcomed it and stayed with you throughout the whole process. But the point is that to practice, to connect with your animal on this spiritual type of level and on this healing type of level, do it every day. Even start out small, start out for 5 minutes, then work your way up to 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. And, sometimes you go for a whole hour. And don't force them. Like, that's why it's called the let animals lead. Let them lead the way. Allow them to leave the room if they want to, because you'll notice, like, a lot of times they'll come mosey back on. One story I had, that for when I first started, I have a rescue Labradoodle, and he's very high strung and very anxious, and he had separation anxiety. And when I started doing Reiki, my teacher had told me, start with yourself first. Start meditating yourself and doing like self Reiki. Just breathe in, like I showed you, do the belly breathing, place your hands on your head. And I started doing that every morning. And I noticed that no matter where my dog was, like if he was 2 flights up, somehow, some way, he sensed that I was starting my Reiki, my self Reiki practice. And he would just, out of a sleep, he would just come barreling down the steps, and he'd watch me, and he'd come sit next to me for about 2 minutes. And then he got very uncomfortable, and he'd walk away, and he'd sit like on the other end of the room. And then by the end of my self practice, like I used to do about 45 minutes to an hour, most mornings, very early in the morning. And he used to always come back. It's funny, like they always come back. Like sometimes they leave the room and then they come back, and they leave the room and they come back. And then before you know it, they just sit with you. And what you're doing is you're actually, by doing this practice, we're actually raising our vibration to meet theirs, right? Because they don't need to raise their vibration. They're already in a happy state. They don't feel anger. They don't feel depression. They don't feel sadness when they get a surgery, or if they have a bad diagnosis. They don't feel that. They just honor every moment of their life cycle. And in a way, this Reiki practice helps the human also to cope with what's going on with their animals. If we're always worried about them, and if we're always like upset and sad, and upset that they're not feeling well, and upset that they're having surgery, or we're tense and anxious because they're tense and anxious, they pick up on that, and that's not going to help them heal. But once we relax and heal, it vibrates out to them. So that's basically, it's a very simple practice. Anyone can do it. You don't have to be a certified Reiki practitioner to practice Reiki with your animals. It's just a matter of meditating and slowing down your breath, and focusing on letting go of anger, letting go of worry. Focus on those 5 precepts and connecting with your animal, and you will notice an amazing shift in their vibration and in their healing process. Because what we're doing when we do this is we're creating a healing space for them, so that they can do what they need to do to comfort themselves. I don't know if you ever noticed, like when animals don't feel well, right? They usually go off into a corner, and they kind of like they just want to stay by themselves, or like often, I know dogs, like I've had dogs, when they're in their end stages, they go off into a corner and they stay by themselves, and they don't want to be around us. And there's a reason for that, because when we're so worried and sad and upset and depressed, they pick up on that. It's not a comfortable state for them to be in. They can't heal. They can't be themselves when we're feeling all the emotions from us. So when we raise our vibrations to meet them, that's where the healing can begin. So that healing is actually both for the human and the animal, and it's a way for us to connect, and to connect, heart to heart, spirit to spirit. And it's really a very beautiful practice. So And a lot of people, a lot of veterinarians use this. They bring in Reiki practitioners. A lot of the uh, dog walkers end up using this, or daycare dog and cat daycares use this. A lot of the rescues and the shelters are using Reiki. It's becoming more and more common, and a holistic way to treat animals and to help the animal, especially when rescues come into a new home. They're anxious because, like, there's new people, it's a new setting, and this is a perfect way to connect with your animal and build a trusting relationship so that they can thrive and they could build a relationship with us. So that's what this is, basically what Animal Reiki is. And if anyone has any questions, or if they want to share what they experienced, please, let me know.